Good evening, dear students. Welcome to Unacademy YouTube. How are you all doing? Let me quickly see how many of you have joined. Hi, Kunal. Welcome to the class, beta. Very good evening. I hope you guys are doing well and in good health. Kunal, how are you doing, beta? Welcome to the class. Let me just put it across on the group so everyone can join in soon. Hi, Utkarsh. Welcome. Very good afternoon. Hi, Saurav. Very good afternoon, beta. Welcome to the class. मैम माइंड मैप बनाना है आपको चैप्टर 1 का. माइंड मैप बनाना है. नोट्स यू टोल्ड मी विच आई टोल्ड यू दैट वी विल डिस्कस. Hi, Ravinder. Good evening. Welcome to the class, beta. Ma'am, special क्यों नहीं? Special I took in the morning, Utkarsh. This one I took for more students who wanted. Yeah. Thanks for reminding, beta. Thank you so much. All right. So let's begin with the class. And like I told you that in today's class we would be doing the entire, I hope, full mazabazi. Fantastic. So all of you, welcome to Unacademy Humanities one more time. Today we're going to have a discussion on the self and personality. That's the chapter number 2. You all know me. Of course, I'm your Professor Urmi Chakravorty, ma'am, your CBSE educator, special Kabli. Are Utkarsh, I took a special class in the morning for psychology, which was a pole class. So I would be taking this one in special also. Do not worry. Don't feel worried at all. I would be taking that. Don't worry. Okay. So yes, please remember, during such tough and turbulent times, we all are together in it. We stand together in solidarity. But every opportunity, you should always make sure that you keep learning and you never leave your zeal across. Don't leave it for anything, anytime. So make sure that you keep fighting, keep learning. Use my referral code Urmi Live and unlock and attend free special classes and YouTube classes. So yes, never stop learning. So yes, as you all know me, this is your educator, and आज 11:30 पे थी क्लास उत्कर्ष. Yes, schedule बता दो please. मैम चैप्टर 2 और बाकी चैप्टर्स के लिए भी आप लाइव कब आओगे? सौरभ, आई वुड बी टेकिंग ऑल द चैप्टर्स. Don't worry, we have done the first one, which is available on the Unacademy Humanities in the psychology section. Now, for the coming chapters, this is the second one we are starting today. And whenever I do, my Telegram link is given down there, Saurav. So I would request you to go and join that, because whenever I take that, you will get the updates on the Telegram a day before or priorly in the morning if it's in the afternoon or evening. So I would take all the chapters, don't worry. Before that, like this video, share with your friends, subscribe to the Unacademy Humanities channel, join the Unacademy Humanities official Telegram group. The link is given below. So this is your wonderful Unacademy Humanities family. You have learned from all of them. They are phenomenal educators, and I'm glad to say they're all my amazing teammates. Ma'am, आगे का schedule भी बता दो. Yes, definitely. Okay, ma'am, बस उसको mind maps बना देना, ma'am, याद नहीं होते हैं. हाँ, okay, all right. Pakka, pakka, pakka. I got that. So yeah, already you know how you have learned from all of them. Now, please remember that we are going to take care of your main papers as well as your optional papers. So do not think about about which chapter is going to come next, which educator will take subject. We are going to cover all of it. You would be taught all the topics, right from history to pol science to economics to geography, etc. India's top humanities educator is going to help you. They are going to help you to prepare for your school exams and your boards. So interact with your favorite educators during the live sessions and ask your doubts and get them clear. Use their code, unlock through their codes and unlock a free special class or a YouTube class and get a straight 10% discount on the referral bonus. Now, to begin with, guys, in this chapter, it's a very simple funda, and in fact, this chapter is one of the easiest chapter of class 12. Why do I say this? Because it is completely giving you an hindsight about what a person's personality looks like. What do you mean by the concept of self and personality? Now, as you can see, this is the part one. I would be taking your chapters part wise, because so that you don't get confused, you don't feel like you have lost anything. I'm going to cover all of it. And yes, so what exactly self and personality refers to? The way you behave, the way you experience certain things, and the way you put it across in front of people. Now, from common observation, we know that different people hold different ideas about themselves. Now, this is a fact. Every single person in this planet, or around us, is unique in their own ways. We cannot match up each other, or we cannot say that these qualities are probably you are exactly the same like that person. You're a replica of that. Somewhere or the other, there are changes, and this we are going to study in the self and personality unit. Now, second thing about self and personality is that these ideas represent the self of a person. We kind of, it speaks volume. We also know that different people behave in different ways in a given situation. Now, what is that? Behavior of a particular person can depend from one person to one another in terms of situations. Now, for example, you are continuously enjoying something, and suddenly there is a message or a news which makes you demotivated. Now your ideas changes as per the situation also. Now sometimes a situation is like a person can be very stable in his or her thoughts. Sometimes he's confused, he doesn't know what to be done. And these ideas represent the self of a person, how the person actually is going to behave in a given situation. Some people will be very random on their thoughts. Some people will take time, give a thought, and then they will discuss things that, okay, pehle sochenge, then they will try to execute certain things. Depends from person to person, situation to situation. And that is what it is mentioned, that behavior of a particular person depends from one situation to another. Generally it can be even somewhere or the other remains fairly stable. Such a relatively stable pattern of behavior represents a personality. Somebody has a dashing personality, which is just an extrovert kind of way of dealing with things, talking with people, just phenomenal in the kind of behavior that person has, XYZ. Whereas some people do not represent this kind of personality, and it takes time for these people to they are kind of reserved. Their personalities, they're just very limited in terms of people they talk with. They control their emotions, they are very focused, they are very calm, and these things are relatively stable when their behavior is it speaks volume. You one person can identify that, okay, he's going to behave like this. This person is going to do this. This person can speak about this. There are ways of dealing with people, and this also shows about one's personality. Some people have a vibrant personality, okay, whereas some people are very cool and calm. So it also shows your temper. Okay, it can be your temper, it can be your anxiousness, it can be your anxiety, it can be your ego issues. It can be so many things which can actually be a characteristic, okay, which plays an important role. And all these things we are going to discuss in this specific particular chapter. But before we go ahead, what's new with Unacademy? You all know it. You can use the wise things for your homework, and all the possibility of an homework comes here. And why do we say so? Because all these things are available in the feature where you can ask unlimited doubts at any given time. Okay, get high quality video solutions, receive exact matches and accurate solutions, etc., and get assistance on your homework. So use my referral code Urmi Live and unlock all these features. Now also let me tell you, it's available for science and commerce. So move ahead and check them out and reach out to your educators for any help you can in terms of any doubts, and the team will definitely get back to you. Also about the plus feature, if you haven't taken the subscription yet, you are genuinely missing on a lot, because the educators have completely started on the full syllabus coverage. Top educators under one roof, taking different subjects, okay, mentorship and guidance at its best, and different batch courses. Like, I'm going to give you the details of all the batches which have started. Before that, these are the subscription plans. If you haven't checked them out, go ahead and check it. I would advise you to always go for a better plan, because the better the plan you take, the easier it will be to crack and ace your final examinations, because you cannot complete the syllabus in 1 month. It will be either a revision or it is going to be a crash course. But for a complete theory, whether it is 11th or 12th, make sure that you take a better package, because 11th is the base and 12th is your very important step for your future planning. Same things with your Unacademy Iconic. Now Iconic basically gives you all the features of Plus. The only thing here is that there are some people who are very uncomfortable studying in a group, and they want it to be a one-on-one thing. So your parents are involved here, they are aware of the kind of growth and development your the student is doing, and it provides you a 360-degree support system, which is also given on Plus. So you have all the features of Plus, including one thing which is new, that your parents will be aware of all the developments. This is the Unacademy Iconic subscription fee. Just go ahead and check them out. You will be benefiting from either of them, whether it is Plus or Iconic. Just make sure that you go and check it out. Once again, you can use my referral code Urmi Live and get a straight 10% discount on Plus or the Unacademy Iconic subscription. Two amazing batches which are commencing from the 21st of June. Okay, as you can see these, which is for 3 months. And let me tell you, this is going to start June, July, August, September. And it is for home science, informatics, psychology, physical education, Hindi, and entrepreneurship. Please remember that these batches are going to be completely dedicatedly given for the humanities and science, as well as for the commerce students, where you can just mix and match and take these subjects. If you do not have it anywhere else, if your school is offering, go for it. We have phenomenal educators. For home science, we have Pallavi Bajaj ma'am. For informatics, we have Lavjeet ma'am. For psychology, you have me. Physical education, Arpit sir. Ashish sir for Hindi, and entrepreneurship by Lucky sir. Now this is for class 11th. So my timings here is 7 p.m. for your batch. So please go ahead and check out all the details which are given on my profile. I'm taking 3 days a week for 11th standard and 3 days a week for class 12th. So the timings remain the same, 7 p.m. Move ahead and check out the batches. Now, same here for class 12th, home science taken by Pallavi ma'am, informatics taken by Lavjeet ma'am, psychology by me, physical education by Zaki Qureshi sir, Hindi by Ashish sir, entrepreneurship by Lucky sir. Please go ahead and check it. 21st of June, the duration is 3 months. So this is the start date. If you haven't, go ahead and enroll now. Okay. Now, what is exactly the concept of self? Okay. How do you know what is about your nature? How do you define yourself? Your interaction with the people, how you experiment things, how you experience what is going on, the meaning you give to them. These things serve as the basis of our self. The structure of self is modifiable in the light of our own experiences and the experiences we have of other people. See, every single person has a different thought process. You can't say that your thought process is matching exactly like your parents. Your parents think in a very different manner, you think in a very different manner. Is it the same? No, it's not. It really is not same, because every person depends, they have a different thought or approach of dealing with people. And this is the reason I keep telling you guys that, you know one person who can get angry very easily, on the same hand the other person may time to take time to react. Don't you think so? Have you seen that everybody reacting in the same way? I don't think so. Every person has a different approach towards life, where they will behave in a different way in a certain aspect. And this is our interaction with the other people, our experiences, the meaning we give to them. This is the purpose of our self. We have of other people also, different experience, different people. Some students are just careless, they don't know what to be done in their life. Some people are very responsible when they know that the situation around them is tough. The attributes they have used for the identification tell us about their personal as well as their social or cultural identities. We all have different identities, guys, which depends on your faith, it depends on the belief system, it depends on your self esteem, okay? And it depends from person to person, which really plays a very important role. Any questions or doubts still here? Any questions or doubts still here, once again, if I may ask? Any questions still here? Hi, Saptaparna. Good afternoon, beta. Where were you? Why late? Had another class or something? Because I put it across on the group also. I thought you would be joining, but you're late. Why so? Okay. Now we move ahead from the attributes, which includes your socio-cultural things which are around you. And it depends from person to person. Like I told you, not everything is same for everybody. Everyone has also a personal identity. Now, this refers to the attributes of a person that makes him or her different from others. Some people, for example, some people are very affectionate. Their personal identity shows that they're kind, sometimes they're arrogant, sometimes they are, you know, easy to deal with, sometimes they are very tough to handle. Depends from person to person. And this is how your personal identity comes into picture. This is where your entire concept of personal identity comes into picture. When a person describes himself or herself by, for example, telling your name, which is a very unique kind of thing. Your name, matlab, it is unique, no? It defines you, that who are you as a person. It shows your personal separate entity. This is me. This is how I am as a person, etc., etc., etc. This takes you to understanding your social identity. Now this is, people say that, okay, are you a Bengali? Yeah. Are you a Brahmin? Are you a caste? This, that. Are you a Christian? Are you a Muslim? Social identity is those, it refers to those aspects of a person which link him or her to social or cultural group which they are derived from it. The identity which is in terms of your society or in terms of the social phenomena. Like I told you, Brahmin, Hindu, Muslim, okay, Adivasi, South Indian, all these things. These define your social identity and which play a very, very important role. Any questions or doubts still here, guys? Any questions or doubts still here? Hi, Harry. How come you're here today, Nitaj? You were watching. Okay. So a person's social identity, like I told you, that how do you, are you, which caste do you belong? What is your background? Okay, your ethnicity. Sometimes it's about your class. Mostly it's about your caste, not class, but your caste, because that shows your cultural background. It is basically your indicating your social identity, and this indicates your social identity, like I told you. Okay, just woke up. Fantastic. Next is the different kinds of self. Okay, this we have discussed, that when we speak about differences in people and their behavior, there are several kinds of self which they get formed in terms of interaction of the people around them in the society. Now, how do you develop it? Now, example here is of a baby. Now, a baby starts interacting at a very young age when he or she is hungry and he asks the mother for milk. Now, how does that happen? Where it acts as a reflex that the baby starts crying, and it later on leads to the development of awareness, saying that I am hungry. Let me give me feed. Give me feed. This biological self, in the context of socio-cultural environment, modifies itself. This plays an important role. And here we are discussing this kind of biological self and trying to open my eyes through YouTube. Very good, phenomenal. And that's how you came across my psychology class, which is live. Very, very good. Hi, Cane Flakes. Here we are referring to self to soul. No, we are not referring to soul. We are only referring to self only, beta. Hi, Can't Flix. Can't Flix. What names you guys have here. Fantastic. We're not referring to soul. We are just referring to self. That how things changed as per the cultural belongingness we have, as per the social aspects we live in our society. Okay. And as per as the growth we have seen, particularly in our personality, in the development, the way we think, the way we decide things, and vice versa. It plays an important role when we are trying to speak about self, correct? Now, this leads to the distinction between personal and social self. Personal is more about what you're feeling primarily at the first approach. Okay. Now, this we have talked about how our biological needs lead to the development of biological self. When you're trying to express yourself through your, when the baby's example, when you're trying to express that I am hungry. Now, this is when your development of a biological self. But when soon child psychological and social needs in the context of the environment leads another components of personal self to kind of emerge. Now imagine when a baby starts going to the school, slowly and steadily their achievements or their responsibilities grow. The parent starts getting in touch. The parents start thinking that we have to invest here, we have to give this, we have to do this for the child. The child also demands. Now it starts with milk, and then it leads to education, then it leads to the later part of life, then it goes to books, then it goes to marriage, then it goes to a life, okay, then it goes to a career. So of course the aspects are changing. No, you can't just emphasize on personal self to your qualities and your skill set. It will grow. It's keeping on moving. Hi Harsim, Simran Preet Kaur, hi beta. And this is how people have different kind of zone of comfort, achievement, responsibility, which play an important role when you're trying to speak about distinction about any chance. So the social self emerges in relation with others and emphasizes such aspects like cooperation, unity, affiliation, sacrifice, support, or sharing. And these are all social self. When you try to, for example, an example of neighbors. Can you see? When you try to speak with your neighbors, when you try to, interact with them, when you try to lend them a help, this all completely depends that what your social self emerges into. Relationship with others, what are the aspects, why you want to speak with them, what is the reason? More social interaction, lesser personal self, or they go hand in hand? They go hand in hand. Harry, they go hand in hand because here you're trying to speak about the kinds of self. Now, of course, there will be a distinction. No, some people are in their own zone, they don't want to come out, okay, whereas the others want to get involved and want to interact. So both of them have different emphases. Now it depends on your personality. So how we started with personal identity here. See this, that it refers to the attributes of a person which makes him or her different from others. That is, you are different from me and I am different from you. This is the reason we speak about our interaction with other people, our experiences, and the meaning we give to them, which serves our purpose of the self. Correct? And that is the reason we are trying to discuss about the concept of components of self to emerge. Clear? Any questions, any doubts still here, beta? Do we move ahead? Okay. All right, beta. Now, when we move ahead from this, kinds of self, this also adds value to family and social relationship. That is the reason it kind of refers to as familiar or relational self. Now, of course, like, for example, marriage as an entity. We all say that marriage is a social institution. Depends from person to person. Okay. When there are two families which come together, we always feel that there are two entities coming together. And this self values family and social relationship. The way you talk with them. You don't talk with the same way with the people whom you talk home. Also, the way you talk reflects your personality and the kind of value your family has given you. And that's the reason a person's language or a person's body language or the person's words, what he or she is saying to somebody else, reflects on the kind of culture he or she is adapting, right? Like all in one channel right now. So I think psychologically speaking, somewhere or the other, your self value, okay, and your social relationship depends on the kind of familiar or relational self you have, or the kind of peers you have, the kind of friends group you have. And that's how you grow, that's how you learn, that's how you try to emerge as a better human being, through your experiences and through the way you interact with the people, through the kind of experiences you learn from them. And this plays a very important role in our day to day lives. So, no matter how downtrodden a person is, no matter economically or financially how much he has a strength or how weak he or she is, social self is something which can be common in people from all classes, all caste. Because this has to do with your human mind, and this has a lot to do with the kind of behavior a human being has and the kind of self he has, depending on the norms and the values he or she is learnt from people, or the kind of background he or she is coming from. And that reflects to your cognitive and behavioral aspects of life, because this has to do with your mental processes, the thoughts, how you think about others, or what you say from your mouth reflects your personality. So if you're abusing, it shows your personality. If you're trying to be comfortable to somebody, it shows your personality. If you're trying to be honest, shows your these things somewhere or the other, shows your dignity as well. That's the reason people, who are from a poor background, they always want their kids to study in a good school with good people around them, so that the competency, whatever it gets on a later phase, but at least the peer pressure or the peers who will be around you would always make you a better human being. So this way you perceive yourselves, and the ideas you hold about your competencies and attribute is also called as a self concept. The language which you're using, the way you're talking with people, the way you're dealing with them, the way you're expressing, it shows your self concept, that this is me as a person. And what reflects is overall either positive or negative. Did you get this? So I think all in one channel made it more easy for me to give this explanation and example to you guys and explain that what you show, what you talk, the way you behave, that shows your overall personality, whether it is positive or it is negative, whether it is helpful or whether it is sarcastic. Yes, no? Don't you think these are the things which really play an important role? And this reflects your self-esteem, which is a very important part of yourself. If somebody appreciates you, you feel that your self, esteem is just boosted up. Okay, there's somewhere or the other, ma'am, samajh mein nahi aaya. Okay, Saurav, beta, cognition and behavioral aspects. Now, cognition refers to your mental processes, whatever is going on in your thoughts. So the way you perceive about yourself are the ideas which are seen in your personality. Okay, now let me explain it to again, no problem. It clearly reflects whatever you think of somebody else. Maybe if you want someone to fall down, okay, that means this is your personality, that you want to damage somebody or you want to harm someone. So this is what your feeling is. If you're happy with somebody's success or growth and you feel okay, that's normal, good job, thank you, best of luck, it's simple, it shows your personality. Now this competency and attribute which comes in your personality is self concept. This shows the kind of background you come from. Have you seen, that's the reason people always want their children to go in good school, so that they don't start learning bad languages. They always try to grow in a good atmosphere with good people around, and this is how it helps them to boost their confidence and moral, which is called as the self esteem. So I was just giving you a basic random example of how people use bad language, how people speak rudely and cunningly with others, and how they behave. It is also very much a part and parcel of the cognition, because this has your thought process attached. This is the way you are behaving with someone. Either you have the right amount of gratitude for someone, or you don't like someone. It is not necessary that you have to always be very good and kind with people whom you don't like, but there has to be a proper approach of dealing with that person. This takes your self esteem, which plays a very important role of your self. I hope this is clear, Saurav. And then your self takes you in terms of your self esteem, which shows your worth, whether you are, whether you have it inside you, whether it just boosts your moral confidence. Some people are very high self esteem, they feel that, okay, I can do this, I have the amount of confidence, okay, even if I fail, so what, let me try, come on, let me just move ahead, let me do it. Whereas some people have very low self esteem. So when people have high self esteem, what do you mean by having a high self esteem? High self esteem people means generally holding yourself in a very positive regard. And this doesn't mean that you love everything about yourself, or you think that, okay, everything is perfect. But strong self respect lets you, respect yourself or see you beyond yourself to feel confident at that place. Whereas when you try to speak about low self esteem, okay, now see, also there are different ways, Nitaj. Let me tell you, Nitaj, Sorrow, everybody. High self esteem can be too much, too much high also, where people have extremely high self esteem. Whereas there are people who have extremely low self esteem also. So it's not just high or, low, it can be very high or very low as well. Okay, so this depends from person to person, on their upbringing, on their family, on their education, on their peers and people around who kind of boost them or try to acknowledge them or try to put them down or insult them. So what is low self-esteem? Now when you speak about low self-esteem here, okay, now low self-esteem is when someone lacks confidence about who they are and what they can do. They feel very incompetent. Okay, and that's the reason they would try to probably dishearten people. They don't like people, they dislike them, they don't feel that they are same, they do not have that, they feel that they're very inadequate. So people who struggle with self low esteem are consistently afraid about making mistakes, or they are always letting other people down. And this is the difference between low and high self esteem. Yes, completely varies according to situation. Absolutely, yes. Phenomenal way of putting this. And surroundings. People. Some people have high self esteem. That is the reason the right parental guidance play the most important role here. The right parental guidance, it plays a very important role, because either the parents give you a moral boost, or they will try to pull you down. And this is the reason you have to always be sure of encouraging your children, even when they are failing, that no problem, you can try it in the next time, because this self esteem also reaches and is interconnected to your self efficacy. Now self efficacy is one more important factor, and the aspect of yourself. People differ in extent to which they believe that themselves can control their life outcomes, or outcomes are controlled by luck or fate or the factors. For example, passing an exam. How can you say that, okay, just because I've used this pen, I'm passing? It's because you worked hard. A person who believes that I have the ability, that I will score well, I will try to study, I will try to revise, I'll try to prepare myself and do good. Whereas people who have these kind of blind belief or superstition, that okay, no 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 no, just because आज मैंने बिल्ली देखी रास्ता काटा मेरा सब खराब हो गया, no 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 no, I saw a body today, no 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 no, oh God, my life is gone, my this and that. Cursing yourself. People who have the neglect kind of, they have this habit of not liking certain things. Self efficacy very much according to, and Albert Bandura, by the way, this concept was given by Albert Bandura. And Bandura's theory of the concept of personal judgment on how well or a poorly person is able to cope up with a given situation, which is also based on the skills they have and the circumstances they face. Self efficacy definitely affects a person's nature. Self efficacy refers to an individual's belief on his or her capacity to execute behavior which are necessary to produce specific performances, attainments, which is there in the Bandura box. Self efficacy is just reflecting the kind of confidence or the ability a person has to exert and control over one's motivation, behavior, and social environment. Okay, social environment really plays a very, very important role. It either pulls you down or either takes you up. So, self efficacy can be very easily explained as a student who has a very high level of self efficacy, okay, in mathematics will feel confident that in her ability to do well, though she feels that do well in a tough statistics class. And this happens because there are people who are different from one another. In our family, we used to get our pens, take blessings prayed upon one of the temples. It's good. See, Nitaj, I'm not saying that it is wrong. It is completely fair enough that you're doing something. We also do in any book when we want to write something, we start with writing a Shri and then we start because your work should be done. In Hindus also this happens. In other communities and caste people also, I'm sure that they have something or the other which they want to, as a faith, as a sign of religion or something they want to do as a belief, which is fair enough. But where you're not trying to have a belief and you're only depending on your luck and fate, that is the problem that comes when you speak about self efficacy. That how do you give it a moral push? Okay. Now, the notion of self efficacy is based on the Bandura social learning theory. I just told you about Bandura social learning theory. Any questions or doubts still here before we move ahead so that I can look at the question box now? Good to go. Can we move ahead, guys? Saurav, Nitaj, is it clear till here? Should I move ahead? Sure, ma'am. Okay, all right, fantastic. Now, the Bandura's box, actually, what exactly happened in this entire concept, that initial studies showed that children and adults learned behavior by observing. Of course, whenever we try to look at someone, we try to adapt that. That's the reason we always say that no, no, any wrong thing should not be sent to the students, should not be showed to the students or the children, sorry, because it shows a very negative kind of impact on that child's mind. So people's expectation of mastery or achievement, okay, and their convictions about their own effectiveness also determined by the type of behavior in which they would engage around them, or people who play a kind of important role in building that behavior or approach towards that person. And that was the entire aspect of Bandura's learning, social learning, which tried to show that how the behavior should be engaged, also the amount of risk they would undertake. A strong sense of self efficacy allows people to select, influence, and even construct the circumstances of their own. Of course, don't you think that it's somewhere or the other, it will give you a sense of impact, sense of belongingness, somewhere or the other, when you can try to do certain things? So, people with a strong sense of self efficacy also feel less fearful because they are not afraid. They are absolutely not afraid, guys. And this is what we are trying to speak about, self efficacy. Now, what exactly was the Bandura social learning theory? Or what exactly was the Bandura's no, experiment? The Bandura's learning theory, Albert Bandura, by the way, he proposed this social learning theory, which emphasized on the importance of, observing, modeling, and kind of imitating or initiating a kind of behavior which you're looking at people and then trying to do the attitude, the emotional reactions of the others. Now, Bandura's social learning theory was very much about how the social learning theory considers how both environmental and cognitive factors interact to influence human learning and behavior. And that's how this also leads to self efficacy, which can be developed. This is being shown on the entire concept of self efficacy. Any questions or any doubts still here? This will definitely come. Yes, Nitaj, there was this one which I'm telling you is the four-step theory which Bandura did in terms of attention, retention, reproduction, and motivation. Social theory was explained like that. No, no. Nitaj, the one which you're telling, it's a different experiment by him, and that is a Bobo doll experiment. That was different, beta. That was different. Hmm. Hmm, 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 hmm. That was the Bobo doll experiment, beta. That was different. Link, link. Did you understand till self-efficacy which can be developed, beta? After this, we move to the next one. Okay, before that, there are some more batches which I really want you to go ahead and check it. On the 3rd of May, they have commenced for science, commerce, as well as for the humanities kids. So there are these batches which have commenced from the 3rd of May. Okay, duration is of 9 months, and language is English. So as you can see, there is physics, there's chemistry, there's maths, there's English, biology, amazing educators, from Abha ma'am to Kunal sir, from Anita ma'am to Shalini ma'am, all of them. Now there are some more for humanities. Now humanities batches, of course, I'm starting. Uh, Second में doubt है. Yeah, Vandana, please tell me what doubt, beta. Yeah, what is the doubt? Please tell me, beta. Please write your doubt, beta. I will explain. If you have any doubts in this one, please ask. Put it on the chat box, comment section, beta. I'll take it right away. Okay, so these are meanwhile the humanities batches which have also come in from the 3rd of May. Voice not clear. Is it clear now? Voice clear? Nitat, just let me know if it's the AV clear, beta. So Nikki ma'am for history, Vinay sir for economics, Paul Science, Virender sir, Anita ma'am for English, Urmi ma'am, that's me for sociology, and geography ke liye Barsha ma'am. So now please remember that we have batches in English as well as in Hindi. Now same for class 11th, start date is 3rd of May. You can see Let's Crack Final Exams, 9 months batches. Medium of delivery is Hindi. So Vinod sir for physics, chemistry ke liye Bharat sir, Akash sir for maths, English ke liye Anita ma'am, Juhi ma'am for biology. Similarly, for commerce, accountancy by Jaideep sir, Nikita ma'am for business studies, economics for Ravi sir, Kriti ma'am for English, maths ke liye Arpit sir. Let's Crack Final Exams 2022 for commerce. Accountancy is basically by Dhwani ma'am. Then you have economics by Vinay sir, maths ke liye Kunal sir, English ke liye Anita ma'am, and then Ram Ahuja sir for business studies. Okay, so these are the batches which have commenced, from science to commerce, and all the batches which I have shown. So move ahead and tell your friends about these amazing batches and amazing educators on the board. And also, like I told you, there are some amazing batches in language of Hindi as well. The medium of delivery is Hindi. Okay. One thing which you guys need to know before we wrap up the class of the part 1 series, that Unacademy Emerge is happening. Of course, class 6 to 12th, 30 aptitude questions, 60 minutes challenge, absolutely no preparation required. Attempt and win prizes worth rupees 5 crores. Okay, so go ahead and check them out. Please remember 20th June is the time. There are fantastic prizes given here. You can just go ahead and look at the prizes. You will get an idea about it. 7 lucky winners to win exciting goodies, from MacBook to iPhone to iPads to exciting goodies, certificates, trophies, much more, which is worth this amount. So link is pinned in the chat. If you haven't seen it, yes, please go ahead and pin it, and I'm sure this is going to be helpful, and I'm sure all my students will be able to get great marks. So of course, please remember, once again, from class 6 to 12, it's a test to kickstart your learning. Okay, now this is called as Unacademy Emerge. So win scholarship and prizes, rupees up to worth rupees 5 crores, and take the test live on 20th of June, 12 p.m. Link, once again, I'm telling you, is pinned up in the chat. So make sure that you do it, and prepare well, and just make sure that you crack it. Now, what is new with Unacademy? There are some phenomenal stuff, from scholarship to India's top educators. Yeah, of course, the tough calls that IPL was not able to be held this time, but there are some phenomenal things that you buy Unacademy subscription, and the other 3 months are free. You can just go ahead and check it out. You will get all of these in the learning apps. Okay, now from self-regulation, we would be doing in the next class, because like I told you, I'll just give you a quick revision of what we have done in the part 1 of self and personality. So anybody who has joined late can have a look at it. We started with the self and personality, what reflects as a characteristic of a person, in which they define their existence. Okay, it also refines the way of your experiences are organized and show up in your behavior. So please understand, from common observation till the kind of people, they kind of hold uh, various characteristics of themselves and their ideas. Okay, if you have any doubts, please write, guys, because I don't know if your comments are coming late or if I'm not able to see, but please let me know if you want me to clear anything anymore for you guys. Also, let me quickly give you an hint of the chapter. um, One second. So uh, yeah, so this is the chapter of self and personality which I showed you today. And as you can see that this chapter we also would be doing the question and answers. Um, if anybody is new in the class, this is for you guys. We have done till self-esteem and we have done the cognitive and various aspects of self. This is the book I'm showing you one more time, just in case you haven't seen it and if you haven't checked the chapter yet in your school as well. Now, self-regulation, I told you, self-efficacy, I told you. In the coming chapters, we would be starting from the culture and self. We would be starting from the Bandura's theory. I would be explaining that to you one more time, and then we would be doing the major approaches of personality, how there are different kind of people with different temperament, attitude, traits, characters, okay, habit, values, and xyz. So all these things would be done in the next class. If you have any questions or doubts still here, once again, please feel free and ask so that I can explain. And like I told you that we would be starting in the next class exactly from self-regulation. So self-regulation, and then we would be doing the rest of the part, culture of self, approaches of the personality. These would be done in the part 2. So yes, if you have yet to get on the board and if you have not taken the subscription yet, um, my code is Urmi Life. Get on the board and let's crack it. Yes. So any questions still here? If you guys, please let me know. Nitaj, Saurav, Vandana, any questions, guys? Utkarsh. All right, then, just in case, I don't know if I'm not getting the comments or what. Anyways, we would stop here for today, and then I would be taking the continuity class of part 2 very soon. Please join my Telegram channel to get all the updates of the class which is coming up soon. Please take care of yourself. God bless you.